What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here today again on NBA 2K24 here with another rebuild, as today we're going to be doing the highly requested Los Angeles Clippers. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As you can tell, if you look down below, we are really close to 40,000 subs right now, and my goal right now is to try to reach that before this month is over. We have like 11 or 12 days of this month left over, so if you've not hit that sub button, want to help us reach that goal, maybe help us reach it by the end of this month, that'd be greatly appreciated if you want to go ahead and join on in here. But regardless, today, as I said, we're rebuilding Los Angeles Clippers. Been some comments about me people wanting me to do a Clippers rebuild, so here I am finally delivering. So obviously the main thing is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. The biggest story here is they both have 1 year plus one, so it is definitely an interesting road to take. Now, if the Clippers ended up losing both of them for nothing, I feel like that'd be kind of disastrous. But I guess we're just going to kind of have to see. The main thing with the Clippers is if this team is healthy, they're scary. But the problem is they're never healthy. They really never are. The one time they were healthy, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were in the bubble, and they lost the Nuggets. I think they blew a 3-1 lead, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows for the Clippers, unfortunately. The health just does not hold up. So, if we look at the rotation, though, going into Season 1 without me touching anything, we got Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nicholas Batum, Zubac, Norman Powell, Mason Plumlee, Kenyon Martin, and Terrence Mann. Obviously, there's been some rumors about the Clippers wanting James Harden, but now Will just said those rumors are dead, so I will not be trading for James Harden in this video, but would not be surprised at all if, I guess, James Harden ended up on the Clippers, but it doesn't sound like Morey is going to budge, so I feel pretty safe by saying I don't think it's going to happen by the time I upload this video, but who knows, man? Crazy things happen, of course. But I will see you guys most likely either at the trade deadline or at the end of the season, because we do have a lot of expiring contracts. So it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to try to upgrade that power forward spot. Although I do like Nicholas Batum, of course, as a Blazers fan, former Blazer here. But he's only a 74 overall, so we definitely wouldn't mind upgrading that power forward spot potentially, maybe at the deadline. Today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that allows you to choose the overs or unders on the players you love watching. It's available on mobile or desktop. If we turn over to the left monitor here, they pretty much have every sport you can imagine. They have esports, MMA, NFL, and of course, basketball will be back soon as well. But basically, you choose any stat that you want. You can choose between 2 to 6 players, and you're going to go the over or the under. It's that simple. You don't have to play anybody else. It's just you against the projections. Right now, PrizePicks is going to match your deposit dollar for dollar. If you use that link down in the description below, use code Crushables, matching your deposit up to $100. Thank you, PrizePicks, for sponsoring today's video. Also, as I told you guys in the last one, a tool that I'm using this year on my PrizePicks is I'm using DGF's Fantasies Optimizer. They basically do the math for you. They go ahead and give you the percentage chance that this prop can hit for you, if you're going to win or not. And it's just profitable long term. So this is a tool I'm using. If you want to go ahead and use this tool as well, link to that tool is down in the description below. Use code Crushables to sign up there. Thank you guys so much to PrizePicks and DGF for sponsoring today's video. So right now we are stopped at the trade deadline as we're 32-18 on the season. So things are going decently well. We're the third seed in the West. Now, obviously, if I'm Steve Ballmer, which I'm not, but if I was, I would be like, okay, things are going pretty well. You know, we're pretty good in the Western Conference right now. But I do have to think about the future as well a little bit, although he's kind of thrown that away anyway. But I don't know. I just don't know what the future will be with Paul George and Kawhi, if they'll be staying on the Clippers or not. Are they going to re-sign them? Are Paul George and Kawhi going to decline those player options? It's just all up in the air for me. I obviously want to try to make a move here that's going to help us compete this year, but I also don't want to mortgage the future even more than the Clippers already have, if that makes sense. So the main thing I want to try to upgrade is the power forward spot. I think if we leave everything else the same, that's fine. So obviously right now they're actually starting Norman Powell with Kawhi, so I guess that isn't the worst idea in the world. But I still wouldn't mind upgrading from, I guess it was Batum obviously playing for us at that power forward spot. So I do want to try to get a power forward here at the deadline. I'm hoping to get someone that's not going to cost me a ton. So if I can just get like a bridge, or not even like a bridge player, just like somebody who can just like start this year and then for the future he'll be fine. I don't know. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say, but I don't want to give up like a bunch of firsts to get the guy I'm looking for here. So where do we get that from? I'm not totally sure, which is why we take a look around the league at some team intels and see. So like Jeremy Grant, I feel like could be somebody that wouldn't cost a ton, but we would be locked into him for the long term. We'd be helping the Blazers get off his contract. But again, he is on a very long-term deal, so I don't mind Jeremy Grant. I think that would actually be a really good addition for this team. So that's kind of my favorite one by far. I do hate the contract in the future, but if we're trying to win now and we're not trying to give up too much, I guess here world where Portland would be fine just getting off his contract. Maybe we have to give up like 1 first, maybe, which I wanted to try to avoid, but we'll look at Grant, and then we'll look at some of our other options as well. We're going to be looking at Harrison Barnes here from the Sacramento Kings. Now, I understand his contract isn't the greatest in the world, but at least it's a lot better than Jeremy Grant's, and I don't think I'd have to trade a first to get Harrison Barnes either. Maybe we just help the Kings by getting off his contract. Maybe they regret signing him. Morris literally matches his salary pretty much perfectly, so if I could get away with this by giving up like a second-round pick, I'm more than okay with that. I think Morris in a second for Barnes is a deal I would do all day, especially for this season, and then he'll have 2 years left of his contract. We'll figure out the rest from there. They agree. So just like that, we get Harrison Barnes, which I love that addition. So Barnes is going to be our brand new 4. He does go down in overall, which kind of sucks, but I'm willing to live with it. Our starting power forward before was literally a 74, and we've done fine so far. So I'm also going to move his backup position to small forward as well. But I think that's going to be the only thing we do. We actually have some more expiring salaries, so we could go out there and maybe do some more. But I like Barnes as a starting power forward for us for the rest of the season. I like that quite a bit. Zubac, I do like, but I also wouldn't mind getting a better center in the building. We still have Covington's expiring salary and Batum's expiring salary, so maybe we're not done here. Maybe we should take advantage of the expiring contracts while we can. So at the end of year number 1, John Moran wins MVP. As you can tell, we didn't do anything else at the trade deadline. Barnes was our only addition, but John wins MVP. Vic is Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul, 6th man. Claxton, Defensive Player. Paul Reed, Most Improved. And Anthony Edwards is your Clutch Player of the Year. And Taylor Jenkins is your your Coach of the Year. Sorry, I didn't see who won executive. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. But John Morant, Jokic, Giannis, Trae Young, Embiid, and here's your NBA second team. We don't have any Clippers representing here, and we don't have any Clippers either on an All-NBA third team. So that is definitely interesting. But Paul George does make all defensive first team, and we don't get Kawhi on anything, which is fine. But we are the 4th seed in the Western Conference, which I feel pretty good about. Obviously, we haven't done anything just yet other than acquire Harrison Barnes, which I still love the addition. But 24 from Paul George, 22 from Kawhi, 18 from Powell, and then 17.5 from Russell Westbrook. One interesting thing I will say is Paul George and Kawhi played all 82 games. The likelihood of that happening is obviously very, very slim, but we got it here in 2K, so hopefully that holds up in the playoffs. So we are going to run our 9-man rotation out here. We get to play, who was it? The Timberwolves in round 1. So hopefully we can get past them and get into round 2. I would love nothing more than get a championship out of the way, and then I can kind of put my stamp on this team in the offseason. Although we have already acquired Harrison Barnes, which I felt great about. But we're down 3-0. So as I said something, we're down 3-0. So I don't know if we beat the Timberwolves. Maybe we can come back from 2-0 and make it interesting. We might be able to win this game 5. We shall see. And we are going to win game 5, it looks like, unless we blow it at the end, which we got kind of close to doing so. 39-30. I will tell you right now, though, if we come out here and lose the Timberwolves in the first round, I don't know if I feel great about re-signing Paul George and Kawhi and running it back. I mean, I don't know if that's what they'll actually do, which is why Clippers' future is just so interesting to me. I don't know what they're going to do once they reach that bridge. Are they going to extend it before the season ends? It's a lot of questions for me. But we're not done yet. We're technically kind of making a comeback. Maybe we got to win this one, though, in order to force a game 7. And we are going to lose. We let Timberwolves in 6 games in the first round. I don't know about you, but if I'm Steve Ballmer and with my team losing the first round, we were fully healthy, I might be ready to give up on this. I'm just saying. Now, unfortunately, we might lose both Kawhi and Paul George for nothing if we were to do that, which is why that's also, I don't know, man. That's why it's just so up in the air for me on what the Clippers should do. I get trying to run it back maybe one more year, but if things don't work out and they walk for nothing, that would be kind of disastrous. So it's just a lot of thinking to do if you're the Clippers. But Hornets get 1, Pistons 2, Rockets 3, and then staff signing. Let's take a look at that. Tyronn Lue. We're going to keep him as the head coach, and then we're also going to go ahead and fill this out. I don't believe we'll have a draft pick at all. Maybe I'm mistaken. Let's see. We are going to have a second-round pick, which I don't care about. So I'm going to fill this out, and I'll see you guys in free agency. I'm curious to see if Paul George or Kawhi end up accepting the player options or not, but I'm assuming both of them are going to decline it. So heading straight to player options, as you can see, Russell Westbrook declines. We got Paul George declining, and we have Kawhi Leonard declining. So it's tough. Do I resign both of them? Do I resign all 3? I don't even know if it's going to give me the opportunity to resign Russell Westbrook, but do I resign all 3 of these guys if I can, or do I move on? Because we got 35, 34, 33. We just lost in the first round. For me, it feels like an obvious move on. I don't know. That's just me. If this team goes out and loses in the first round again, yeah, it's going to suck to lose them for nothing. I guess you could maybe execute a sign and trade. Sometimes those are rare, but you could maybe do it because it's not even going to give us the ability to re-sign Russell Westbrook, so we're guaranteed to lose him. He's asking for 30 million, which is crazy. We are going to have cap space though, so that's fun. I don't know if there's any player out here that I like want to sign other than maybe Tyrese Maxey. That would be pretty cool to launch this rebuild, I guess, if we were going to do a rebuild. I don't know, man. It's tough because we definitely have some win now pieces still left here. We have Bones Highland, who could be a future piece, Terrence Mann. But I just know if I resign them, there's the ability that they might go down in overall. It's tough. They got 6 offers. We got Spurs offering, and then Kawhi Leonard. What's he being offered? Is he listed at power forward right now, or did I just skip him? Or it says I can't even afford him. I don't know. Kawhi Leonard, 52 million. He has 0 offers at the moment. So this is tough, bro. I am torn. Do I want to resign them and run it back, or do I want to just maybe not do it? I'm gonna think of this. I'm gonna think this over. So we're gonna resign both of them to 1-year deals. It's not great, but I think I'd rather run it back with them maybe one more time, even though I don't think it deserves another chance. I just don't really know what the direction would be if I don't, you know, obviously resign them. Like, we're gonna be in a really tough spot if I don't resign them. So it just felt like an obvious re-signing to me, although there is a chance we could maybe flip them at the deadline for as much value as we can get. Or in a crazy world, we could still maybe sign and trade them, I guess. But I'll probably wait till the deadline. I'll give it a chance still. So Powell is someone that I think I am going to trade here. He definitely played well for us. But at this point, we need to fill out the rest of the roster. And we don't have that right now. So the rest of the roster is gone, which is why it may not have made sense to re-sign them. But in my opinion, I think bringing them back and then maybe trading them away at the deadline was probably the better alternative than just letting them walk for nothing. Although maybe I could have went out and signed like Tyrese Maxey or something. I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, we re-signed both of them and we don't have money to do anything else. So we're in a tough spot, but it's time to get creative. So the first trade we're going to do is going to be sending Norm Powell and a 2nd round pick over to the Atlanta Hawks for Clint Capella. We get a good center upgrade. Zubac is still great, don't get me wrong. But Capella on a 1-year deal. Norm Powell's 2 years left. He goes over to Atlanta. This gives Okongwu a clear starting spot in Atlanta, while Capella comes over to us. It gets a starting spot here. So I love that first trade. I think that definitely helps us out in the long run, or at least for maybe contending this year once again. So bringing in Clint Capella, I don't know if that means we move on from Zubac or not. We could have him as a backup 5. Barnes is going to have to start next year, I think, at that power forward spot. And then we have Terrence Mann and Bones Highland to maybe run that point guard spot. So right now, it's not great. Again, it's pretty tough, but this is kind of where we're at. So obviously, Terrence Mann, Bones Highland run the point guard spot. Paul George to the 2. Amir Coffey might have to play some minutes. I don't know. We have to go into free agency and sign as much as we can. So we don't need any like shooting guards or we don't need any point guards, I should say. But we can get, bro, this is tough. Edmund Sumner. If I can get Edmund Sumner on the minimum, I would do it. I'll offer that. He declines it. I might have to wait on that. Small forward, maybe I can bring in TJ Warren or Najee Marshall. I wouldn't mind either of those. So I'm going to go ahead and sign Najee Marshall to a deal. So we'll sign Najee Marshall. And then again, I don't think it's going to let me resign Russell Westbrook, but I might try. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So I can't bring back Russ. I'm going to have to go to like day 12 and fill out the rest of the roster, I think, where guys are fine with taking minimums because there's nobody else left. So yeah, it's slim pickings out here. So we can bring back Robert Covington, who we did not trade at the trade deadline. I don't think we really have a choice. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back Covington. I'm also going to bring back Batum. He's probably going to go down in overall, but we're going to just bring continuity back at this point. And then I'll bring like JaMychal Green in. Again, it's not pretty at all. So unfortunately for us, this is what it's about to look like next year. It's rough, man. So I'm going to sign all 3 of these guys. Brandon Boston, I don't know if he comes back as restricted. Yeah, that helps out those 3 guys coming back. So Kawhi is down. Paul George is down. Zubac, Bones Highland is up. And then Harrison Barnes is down. So yeah, everyone is just kind of down horrendous. So I think at this point, there's probably going to be an obvious sell at the trade deadline. I don't know if we're going to be very good. I guess if we are good, then maybe I have to just run it and let it be. But if we suck, it's time to move on. It's time to trade both of them. At least we won't let them walk for nothing. It's time to move on if we're going to be bad. But hopefully we're still good. I don't know if I'd rather us be bad. That way it's easier to trade them. Or if we're like mid, do I still trade them? I don't know. Power King's going to last at 15. So here is your rotation. We got Bones Highland, Paul George, Kawhi, Barnes, Zubac, Capella, Terrence Mann, Najee Marshall, Brandon Boston. Rotation isn't the worst in the world. It could be better, obviously, but it's not the worst rotation in the world I've ever seen. Proficiency is going to be 4-star balance once we move it there. So I'll see you guys either at the trade deadline or at the end of the season because things just went too well. So it's a great sign if I don't stop at the trade deadline. So we are stopped at the trade deadline as we're 27 and 25 on the season right now. So things obviously are not going as planned. Now, I will tell you right now, the odds of me getting a realistic package right now for Kawhi Leonard or Paul George are very slim. I wouldn't even know what their value would be worth at this moment anyway. Like, I literally do not know. So bear with me. I'm going to do my very, very best. You guys know I try to keep things as realistic as I can, but it's just so hard to gauge on what these two would even go for at this point. But yeah, we're 27-25. I don't plan on keeping this train going, man. It's just not working. So they're still doing really good. Bones Hound's averaging 24 points per game. Holy moly. Okay. That is something to take note of. Wow. I'm impressed. I will say that right now. I am impressed. Although I do like what he's doing for us, unfortunately, I cannot continue this. I think, obviously, we need to go ahead and pull the plug. So let's go ahead and trade away Paul George to start things off. So it looks like we're going to be talking to the Pelicans about trading Paul George over to the Pelicans for CJ Herb Jones. And I'm trying to get a first round pick out of them as well. We also are throwing in Robert Covington. Now, obviously, I don't know if I love this trade. I don't like taking CJ back, but he'll be expiring in the offseason, so I feel like it'll be easy to move. But Paul George goes over to the Pelicans. If I can walk away with Herb Jones on a first, I'd feel decent about it. So they're going to want my, they want to do a pick swap. They want JaMychal Green. They'll give me Sebron. We're getting closer to a deal being agreed upon, but I cannot for the life of me do a pick swap. I'd rather have like a future first for Paul George. So what do you say to this? They want JaMychal Green. Once again, they want that OKC pick swap. I guess we get a 2029 pick in the future. We also get Herb Jones, so I feel good about being part of the core. So yeah, I'm okay with this trade. It's not the best. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot better offers out there. But it's just so hard to gauge on what Paul George's value would be at this moment. So taking a CJ McCollum back's contract isn't great, but I could flip him in the offseason for whatever. But I do love the addition of Herb Jones and a 2029 first. So we're going to make this trade. So the trade finder for Kawhi is a little bit different. So obviously there's some really good offers here, like some really good offers because Kawhi's trade value is just through the roof. But again, I'm going to try to go with the most realistic package in my mind. So we could walk with Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter. We can get LaMelo Ball, but I don't think the Hornets are lining up to do something like that. In my mind, in my personal opinion, the best realistic trade. Now, I love this one where we get Amin Thompson, but I don't know why the Rockets would do this. I feel like if they were to do something weird like this, they would try to keep Fred VanVleet on the team. That way they could have, Fred VanVleet teaming up with Kawhi rather than trading him for Kawhi. Because I just don't know if their roster is ready to compete if they're trading away Fred VanVleet. Although Fred VanVleet by no means is someone that's like a deal break. I don't know. LeBron, that doesn't really help me. He's 40 years old. DeAndre Bradley Beal, I don't want them. Cat, I don't want. Anthony Simons, it's interesting, but I don't know why Portland would do that. But this is my favorite by far. The 76ers, obviously, they're trying to appease Mr. Joel Embiid, try to keep him in Philadelphia. If that means trading away Maxey for Kawhi, would the 76ers do it? I highly doubt it. But in my personal opinion, this is the most realistic trade that I can find in this trade finder. So we are going to go ahead and do this trade. Now, again, I don't know if the 76ers would do this. I don't think they would. But Maxey, in my opinion, no-brainer play here. We get Miles Bridges as well as a throw-in. So I'm doing this trade. Tyrese Maxey, welcome to the Los Angeles Clippers. So our team's about to be really funky for the rest of the season. And I don't even know if we own our future pick, which sucks. But Bones Allen's going to move to the bench while CJ starts for the rest of the year. He can get his trade value up. We could trade him in the offseason. Herb Jones will start at the 3. Bridges at the 4. So we have a very interesting team still. But main thing is we moved on from Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And we've closed that gap. Capella, I also wouldn't mind trading away here because we're not going to keep him. So I might as well. He's a free agent. He's 30 years old. So I'm going to go ahead and move on from him as well. But I think this will be the last trade we do. I'm fine with just getting a first if I can. But I highly doubt it. Miles Turner second. I might have to just hold on to him, which is fine. Beal, but I have to take his big contract. I'm good on that. Gobert, Nurkic. Yeah. So we're just going to keep Capella. Maybe I resign him. We'll see. We can still make the playoffs this year technically. So maybe we do. We'll see what happens. So Ja Morant once again wins MVP. Collier's your Rookie of the Year. Scoots your 6th man. Giannis Offensive Player. Pressure Chua most improved. And Dame is your Clutch Player of the Year. And Bickerstaff is your Coach of the Year. So obviously we made the move to move on from Kawhi and Paul George at the deadline. I think it was the right thing to do. But we still made the playoffs as a 6th seed in the West, which is great. And then obviously we traded Kawhi to Philadelphia. They ended up as a 6th seed. And we traded Paul George to the Pelicans. They ended up as the 4th seed. So Player stats for the rest of the season, you had 22 from Bones Hyland, 22 from Maxey. This might be our future backcourt. They're both 6'2", so it's not great, but they're both scoring the basketball at will. I think if we could surround them with good defenders, we'll be fine. Miles Bridges averaged 19 as well, which is great. And then CJ, 19 points per game. He's going to have an expiring $30 million. I think we could actually use him in some of the, I think we only got like one future first, but we could use that first, maybe one of our own. And maybe we could put this team back into contention with one move using CJ. We'll see if that's possible. I don't know. Herb Jones is out for the season. I don't expect to win a championship this year anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So we play the Thunder in round 1. At this point, they have Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet, Patrick Williams, Isaiah Hardenstein, Isaiah Joe, and Cody Williams. Somebody current round against them. I would be happy if we won one game, and we are going to get swept, which is fine. I mean, I didn't think we were going to go very far anyway, so no big deal there. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So neither did Kawhi or Paul George make it very far. They both got eliminated in round 1. Cavaliers, Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves actually go on to beat them in 7 games. We lost them in year 1, so Timberwolves going to win a championship. Still pretty sure we don't own our future, or not our future pick, but our pick in this draft. Milwaukee's pick goes to 2, and it's going to the Pelicans. I was going to try to trade for that pick, but it was like worth 5 stars. So I was like, okay, there's no way they're trading that for Paul George. That would have been cool because we could maybe be in Cooper Flag range. But as far as our pick is concerned, it is going to go to the Thunder. I figured, so we still don't have our pick, but it was cool that we're in the playoffs. So, I mean, at this moment, we're still in win now mode. We just had to move on from Kawhi and Paul George, who were just going to continue to fall off in the simulation. So we still have a interesting backcourt. We still have Miles Bridges. We still have an interesting team. We really do. So we're just going to go straight to draft night, and we are going to see what kind of value we could get for CJ McCollum's expiring salary, and maybe that Pelicans pick, and maybe one of our own, because we're still going to try to make this train work. Is that the right move? Maybe not, but we're still going to try. So I think we're going to do this trade with the Orlando Magic. It's by far my favorite trade, where we trade CJ. We are trading 2 first-round picks and a second. We get Wendell Carter, who's a spot starter in this next season, and we get a lottery pick. So I think this is a no-brainer move for me. We're going to go ahead and do this trade. We get a starter, plus we get to add a young piece to this team. I don't know exactly what we are, but we're going to be competitive, and we're going to be interesting, and that's what matters at the end of the day, I guess. So Utah's got Cooper Flag, of course. No surprise there. Aaron Bradshaw goes to the Pelicans. Dylan Harper to the Knicks. Nikola Topic goes to the Spurs. Trey Johnson goes. VJ Edgecombe goes. Ace Bailey. We got Lee going, and then we have Carter Bryant. We're getting to the point where I may not know a single player on the board, but we'll do our best to do whatever we can. So Liam McNeely, I don't know anything about him. His ceiling is a starter, floor is a bench piece. Scouting, Robert Dillingham, I do know. I don't know if we need another guard, but his ceiling is all NBA, so I feel like we got to take him, right? I mean, it sucks that we got to settle another point guard. Although Ian Jackson, he's usually really good. In the last draft class when I would draft him, he was a stud. All NBA, so he's got a really nice ceiling as well. Or Amari. So I'm actually starting to remember these names a little bit. So Mookie, I have no idea. Omari, I've noticed, I think, or Nasir Cunningham. Forgot about him as well. 20 points per game. And then he's got a bench and then all NBA. I'm going to take Ian Jackson and hope this was the right pick. We'll see if it was. So we're going to take Ian Jackson with the 10th overall pick. 6'6", North Carolina forward. Did I make the right pick? He was a 73 overall. Dillingham was a 74, 75. So I was also thinking about Nasir Cunningham. He was a 70. I guess Nikola was a 75, but it's all good. So we're going to sign Ian Jackson, and player options, we got nothing going on there. Qualifying offers, Musa, Bones Hyland, and Brandon Boston. We'll bring them all back, hopefully on some good deals. And then Zubac, Clint Capella, Bones Hyland, we have to repay, or we have to resign Terrence Mann. Wouldn't mind bringing him back as well. But do we have cap space? Because we might, yeah, we do. So we do have some cap space as well to maybe go out there and sign another player. How much do we have exactly? So looks like we have a decent amount. So we are going to have like 50, it looks like, I think. So right now, Max is the only one getting paid. Herb Jones is going to slide over to the 4 or to the 3. We have a starting center in Wendell Carter. We have a starting power forward. And we still have Barnes big contracted well to free up even more money. So I'm moving Herb Jones to the 3 right now. He is hurt right now, but he's going to start at the 3 for us, I think, this next season. I'm going to go ahead and dump Barnes, get him off the team, and free up even more money. I'm going to trade Harrison Barnes over to the Bulls for a second-round pick. Maybe they're still trying to compete. They see some value in taking on Harrison Barnes. We're going to go ahead and do that trade. So just like that, Barnes is no longer on the team. We free up even more money. So we should be able to Resign Bones Highland, which I love, and then we'll have Najee Marshall, Herb Jones as our 3. We'll have Miles Bridges at the 4, and then Wendell Carter at the 5. So the main thing I guess we could use is pretty much anything. Anything is on the table as far as who would maybe want to throw some money at in free agency. We're LA, so obviously as an LA team, we can get free agents. So there's no one to me that's off limits entirely. Like Jalen Green at 23 years old, Evan Mobley, obviously those would be dream scenarios. Could go crazy and sign Jason Tatum here and flip this train around as quick as possible. So that would be fun because technically speaking, I feel like a core of Tatum, Maxey, Bones Highland, like that's not too far off from maybe contending. Maybe I'm a little too wishful thinking on that, but you know what? We're going to go for it. I'm going to give Tatum an offer, but I also wouldn't mind getting Jalen Green. So right now we would win Jason Tatum, and he's only 27. I mean, he comes to LA. I don't know if Jason Tatum's one of those guys that like values living in LA or whatever, but he would be a home run. I'm going Evan Mobley as well. Is there anybody else that stands out? Kate Cunningham would be great. Barnes, Jamal Murray, 28. Josh Giddey, Siakam, no thanks. Ingram, he's kind of up there for me. A lot of the other guys I want are restricted, unfortunately, so the odds of me getting them, they probably get matched. But I'm still going to go ahead and throw an offer at Jalen Green as well. I mean, maybe Houston doesn't match it. I don't know. And then we're going to gamble and hope Bones Highland doesn't get signed yet. So Tatum, Evan Mobley, obviously I would love to sign them as well. Let's see what happens. So Mobley, Houston, both get matched. But you know what? We're walking with Jason Tatum. So I can't even complain right now. I'm going to sign Terrence Mann back. I'm also going to resign Bones Highland back. So we should be able to sign all 3 of them, I believe. And we do not. Oh, wow. So I just messed that up. So after that, we don't have enough money for Jason Tatum. Or at least we are. It says I don't, but I can sign him again, I think. Am I going to mess up this time? We got him. Okay, Tatum is coming to the Clippers. So just like that, we got Jason Tatum. So now we have an interesting squad of Bones Highland, Terrence Mann. We have Tyrese Maxey the 2. Jason Tatum comes over, and he's our brand new small forward, which makes Najee Marshall maybe more expendable. Herb Jones. I don't know if we want to do it, what we want to do with him. Maybe we move him back to the 2 as a backup. And then now we can sign some like good forwards off the bench. So backup forwards, we got Chuma Okeke. We have Clint Capella. If I can re-sign Capella and have him and Wendell Carter be my centers, I'm doing it. So we're gonna sign Capella as well, and this gives us a roster that I didn't think we were gonna like necessarily tank things away, but I think gives us a chance to maybe go out there and compete for a championship next year. That might be too wishful thinking, but it's just what I feel like could possibly happen. If I can sign Brandon Boston back as well, sign me up. He might even progress even more. So yeah, I actually love this team. It's kind of funky, but I think it's gonna work. So let's see what it would look like under play progression. So we are going to have Musa come back as well. Maxey is down, which sucks because I really wanted him to take a step. But Bones Highland is up to an 80. Brandon Boston's up to a 76. Herb Jones is hurt right now, but he's going to be an 81. And then Musa's up to a 74. Ian Jackson, he's either going to be someone that could contribute on a high level after the G League next year, or he's a good trade chip maybe at the deadline if we're looking to make like another big move, which I think is definitely possible. It just kind of depends on how the season is going. We have Tatum, we have Maxey. I love that duo in itself. We have a bunch of other interesting guys here as well. We're a funky little roster, but I think we're a team that can compete in a way. We'll have to maybe make one more move, but I'm feeling good about it. So let's look at this rotation. So rotationally, Power King is going to land us as 7th overall. Proficiency is 4-star. So let's take a look. So rotationally, we're going to go look like this. So Bones Highland, Maxey, Jason Tatum, Miles Bridges, Wendell Carter, Capella, Terrence Mann, Brandon Boston, Jordan Nwora. We have Marshall, Ian Jackson, Herb Jones. Once he's healthy, he will be back and playing. How far is he coming back? He is out day to day, so he should be back soon. And I think I'm going to go ahead and send Ian Jackson to the G League. So I'll see you guys either at the deadline or at the end of the season. It just all depends how things go. But I think we might be able to have the ability to go all in once again at the deadline and make a big trade to surround Tatum and Maxey with more talent. And Bones Highland if he's out there averaging 25 again. So at the end of year 3, Luka wins MVP, Dylan Harper Rookie of the Year, Dame 6-man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player and Most Improved, De'Aaron Fox Clutch Player, Marcus Coach of the Year, and Joseph Jackson is your executive. So let's see if we get like Jason Tatum making a all NBA team for us, and he does. All NBA second team, and here's your all NBA third team, all defensive first team, and all defensive second team, as we get Jason Tatum making this one as well. I decided not to stop at the trade deadline because things were just going all too well. At one point, we were on pace to win 60 games. Now, we did have some injuries here, so Maxey is day-to-day. He should be back. Bones Highland is out 1 or 2 weeks, which sucks because he's honestly a high contributor right now, averaging 22 points per game. Decently efficient as well, which is nice. So hopefully he'll be back very soon. But so Terrence Mann starting at point guard right now, and then Maxey, Tatum, Miles Bridges, Wendell Carter, Capella, Herb Jones, Brandon Boston, Najee Marshall, and then once Bones Highland is back, that's going to be a huge lift for us. So in round 1, we draw the Sacramento Kings. So let's go ahead and see if we take care of them. Now, how great would it be if we could win a championship the season immediately after we trade away Kawhi and Paul George? That'd be awesome. Be a great story. So Fox, Justin Edwards, Keegan Murray, Sabonis, Wiseman, Malik Monk, Mitchell, Christian Wood, Darius Baisley. Somebody current round against him. Maxey is fully healed, and we are going to go down 3-0. So I guess the regular season was just maybe I don't know. It was maybe a fluke. We're down 3-0 again. I think this is how we started last year, and we went down 3-0. So that sucks. Maybe we could force a game 7 and make things interesting, but right now we got a very close one on our hands. We are going to go ahead and win this one. So Bones Highland, Jason Tatum. Tatum got hurt. It looks like he is day-to-day, so hopefully he should be fully healthy here soon. Day-to-day, he's fully healed now, so he's fine. Okay, now we get a game 5 in LA. I mean, if we can win this one, it's step-by-step, one game at a time. Very close game with Sacramento. It looks like they may have our number here. Just kidding, maybe. And we are going to close. Oh, wow, 1-point game. Bones Highland might be fully healthy for this is game 6. He's still not, but here we go. Game 6 regardless. If we can win this one, we are in business, but it looks like the Kings are starting to run away with it, unfortunately. Unless we close it at the end, the gap is still very high. So, unfortunately for us, we are going to fall short to the Kings. So, it would have been a great story to win a championship immediately after traded Kawhi and Paul George. But I decided not to make the big move at the deadline. Maybe I should have. But just based off how things were going, I didn't know if I needed to. But I regret not doing it now. So, the big move can still happen, though. So, as far as lottery is concerned, we are going to not have our pick. It goes to the Thunder again, which I figured. Staff signing, head coach wise, I mean, we could go get Tyronn Lue right back, or we could move on from him because we keep choking in the first round. Give me Nick Nurse. I don't know if Nick Nurse is going to change things for us, but we keep choking the first round with Tyronn Lue, so maybe we'll just move on from him, and maybe that changes things. So I'm going to fill the rest of this out, and then the plan is to maybe make a big move. Maybe I could also depend on Ian Jackson being a part of the rotation next year. That could help out a lot as well. But we'll see if there's like a big move to make. So right now, after looking at the market, there wasn't anything that I liked too much just yet, but I won't rule out anything entirely. I don't think we have any important free agents, but we have Wendell Carter, who I am going to re-sign. I think it's nice to have depth there. So Marshall is also a free agent. Wouldn't mind bringing him back, but we'll see. As far as other players we can sign in free agency. So we have like Terry Rozier, so it looks like we can actually give out a pretty good contract. Peyton Watson, that's someone I've never been able to sign. I would not mind bringing him in. But let's take a look. So we have Bones Highland, Terrence Mann. We have Brandon Boston, Maxey. We have Tatum, Herb Jones, plus Ian Jackson, Jordan Nwora, Miles Bridges, and we have Carter Capella. So literally we could sign pretty much anything, and they would be an just another good depth piece here. So we have Jalen Johnson, Jalen Smith. We also have Nurk Koloko. So Daron Sharp. I think I'm going to sign Koloko because I think Capella's contract would be the contract or the chip or the salary that I would use. I'm going to sign Koloko. I'm also going to bring back Najee Marshall. And I want to see how much Ian Jackson goes up. Or just kidding, goes Sacramento. Wow, that sucks. Jordan Powell could bring back. I don't think I'll do that, though. I'll sign Aaron Wiggins as extra depth. Why not? So Musa might even be back as well. But I actually want to see how much Ian Jackson goes up in overall. Because that's going to determine for me if he's worth keeping. Or if we should just try to trade him for maximum value. So he went up to a 76 overall. He could be good, and it may be unfair for me to just give up, but I think we're going to go ahead and make the big move. We just signed Koloko for a reason. We're going to trade Capella away. I don't know what for yet, but we're going to try to do something. I did not expect the Pistons to accept that. Wow. We got Jaden Ivey. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think in my entire life have I traded for Jaden Ivey ever. I did not expect them to accept that immediately, and they did accept that like pretty quickly. So the reason why I'm doing this is I'm moving Maxey back to point guard. So Jaden Ivey is going to be our starting 2. He's actually the best player behind Jason Tatum. I did not expect them to accept that so quickly, and they did. I did not think that would even get the ball rolling for them, and it absolutely did. So Jaden Ivey, I can confidently say, I don't know if there's ever been a time I've ever traded for him, but he's on the team now. And I'm pretty excited about it. So we needed a big move. I would have preferred if maybe it was a big instead. But I think Ivy is also really cool as well. This next season is going to be our last season regardless of what happens. So let's get into it. Power is going to land us at 3rd overall. Proficiency under Nick Nurse is perimeter centric, but we're going to go to balance. It gives us a 4.5 system, which is great. And rotationally, we're looking like this: Maxey, Jaden Ivey, Tatum, Miles Bridges, Wendell Carter, Herb Jones, Bones Highland, not Island, and then Chris Galoko, Brandon Boston with Man, Musa, Wiggins, and even Dean Wade and Donovan Williams. So I'll see you guys at the end of this season, and hopefully after that Jaden Ivey edition, we can go win a championship. So at the end of this final season here, we ended up getting the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. I'm hoping we can get to the conference finals at the very least. Have we even gotten round 1 today? I'm pretty sure we haven't, so that'd be great as well. With 26.5 from Tatum, you had 19 from Jaden Ivey, 18 from Bones Highland, 15 from Maxey, 13, 11, and then also 11 and 9 from Wendell Carter. So here goes nothing. Round 1, Maxey will be back as the starter. I actually like my rotation a lot, so hopefully we can come out here and at least get out round 1 for everything. Like, for crying out loud, let's get out round 1. So they have Steph and Curry. Okay, interesting. They have Steph and Jimmy Butler. Wow, that is bizarre, I will say. No Luka Doncic. We're playing Stephen Curry instead, which is just so weird. That's so bizarre. Regardless, please beat them. Somebody current round. Bones Highland gets hurt, of course, and we are going to have them go and even it up. So injuries occur. Does that mean we lose in round 1? I'm going to be pretty spiteful if that is the case. And wow, it's not looking good for us, maybe, boys. We might be going home in round 1. So 127 and 105. That is so unfortunate. So please, I mean, who? Visualization's a 90? What on earth are we doing? I didn't even realize it was that high. So let's fix that, even though that may not have anything. Miles Bridges is hurt, and so is Bones Highland. It could be worse. It could be Tatum and Jaden Ivey. Those are our 2 best players, but as long as we win game 6, we could win game 7, and that's what matters. So game 6, we start off with a 21-point lead in the 1st quarter. They cut it a little bit in the 2nd. 3rd quarter, tied it up, and then 4th quarter, we are going to beat them. So 124 to 113, 28, 26, 23, and 23. How far away are they from being back? 1 to 2 weeks and 2 to 4 weeks. So probably won't have them back anytime soon. So game 7 in LA. Let's please take care of business. I would just love to get out of round 1 today. Like, if nothing else, get me out of round 1, please. So it's very close, of course. Why would it not be? And we are going to be in a very close battle down the stretch. We take the lead back. Just keep it. That's all I'm asking for. 102 to 99. I don't ask for many things. So just give me this win. And oh my goodness, bro. I can't have this. 108 to 113. And we're going to beat them 114, 121. That was close. Now we get Portland. So obviously I want to get on round 1. And that's what mattered. So Scoot, Simons, Bryce Tiller, Ron Holland, Miles Turner, Dame, Grant, Trina Wofford, Nasir Little, Hamdi Diallo. It's an interesting team. A funky one as well, where Dame is a 6th man behind Scoot and Simons. They no longer have Shaden Sharp, though. I believe Shaden Sharp is in Philadelphia. So that probably helps our case out a little bit. I don't think these guys are closer to being back. 1 or 2 weeks, still 2 to 4 weeks. So still going to be out them. Game 1, though, we beat them 144 to 125, 36 and 37. So great start from our duo here. And then game 2, we got Musa getting hurt. I didn't even realize he was playing minutes. Game 3, he's fully back. We're up 3-0, and we are going to sweep the Blazers. Wow. Now we get the... Bro, I'm so curious to see what the Warriors look like. Now that they don't have Stephen Curry, they still made it all the way to the conference finals. I wonder who they have that's helping them get to the conference finals. They have Luka Doncic. So Luka and Steph switch teams. This team looks so weird. Luka, Jaden Hardy, Markkanen, Santi Aldama, Garuba, Klay Thompson, Brandon Podziemski, Moritz Wagner. So, like, literally the only Warrior left is Klay Thompson, and that's it. Everything else is so... There's literally no one here that was on the Warriors, like, when we started this thing, other than Klay. That is so weird to me. Well, let's see what happens. Hopefully we can take down Luka. Are we any closer to having our guys back? I think actually who's back? It was Miles Bridges is back, so that's great. Bones Highland is still 1 to 2 weeks away, so maybe we'll have him back for the finals. Let's see if we get there. Game 1, 1-0 start. Game 2, 2-0 start. Game 3, they win. Game 4, 3-1, and we get into the finals. Bones Highland's fully back. Game 6, win it. Of course, we're going to a game 7. Why would we not? Game 7 in LA. Please do not lose to Luka Doncic in the conference finals, please. Why are we losing to this Warriors team? That doesn't even make sense. They're not even the Warriors. we were literally up in this series and we were going to lose like this. Please just close the gap a little bit. Maybe I could jump in. Yeah, we're literally down 20 something right now. Bro, I'm so pissed. Like, what? Okay. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. There's no way I'm coming back. Down 19. But, wow. I've been recording this video for an hour. I didn't realize I was recording that long. This video felt like it went by fast. But let me see if I can come out here and score some baskets to end this one. We're not going to win a championship. Unfortunately, we lose to a Warriors team that's just so funky looking. But maybe we can come out here and get some pride points. Hey, maybe, who knows? Maybe I can cut this lead in 2 minutes. Highly doubtful. I would not bank on that whatsoever, but I'll give it my best old college attempt here. So Luka Doncic, he has the ball. I got Maxey guarding him. Don't love this matchup at all. He's going to go down and mark it in, and that's probably the dagger if it wasn't already the dagger already. So minute 56 left on the clock. I'll play until I feel like I should stop, and the gameplay is just atrocious. So we're going to go with Jaden Ivey here. I kind of want to shoot a 3 with Ivy, but give me a screen with Miles Bridges. Let me see if I can hit a 3 with Jay. Ooh, okay. All right, 118 and 102. Maybe I could just do that like, what is that? If I could do math, quick math in my head. If I could do that like 6 more times, we could maybe be back in the game. Jaden Hardy is going to try to respond. He takes a quick shot. Maybe I can come out here and shoot it with Jaden Ivey again. Decent defense being played. I had Wendell Carter. I'm going to go ahead and, actually, we have Tyrese Maxey in the corner. We're going to hit another one. 118 and 105. I'm not saying we're making a comeback, but I don't know. It's possible. Ooh, if I would have gotten that steal, Jaden Hardy's going to have a wide open runway. I get a nice... Oh, we fouled him. We fouled him. Okay, that sucks. Luka Doncic to the free throw line. He is going to make the first one. I'm assuming he's about to sink the second one. But so far, boys, I'm having some fun. Even though we're not going to win this game, we are definitely making things interesting. If we can keep hitting threes, and obviously it just gets even more interesting. But the odds of that happening are very, very slim. So give me a screen, Wendell Carter. And that was, okay. We got Bones Highland wide open. Actually, not wide open. But we're going to miss our first 3 attempt. He wasn't wide. Or that was Ivy. What am I talking about? I don't know why I thought that was Bones. He's going to go to Vlatko Kinkar. He's going to, wow. We just have no ability to guard the cut at all. So that's great, but it's also me playing, so no surprises there. Let's get another screen as I almost step back court. Let me see if I can get another 3 off. Give me a step back 3. And, oh, I made it. Wow, I did not think I was making that. I feel pretty good right now. I mean, I'm out here hitting 3s, so even though we may have lost the battle, I feel like I won the war, if that probably makes no sense. But Luka Doncic, can we get a stop? That is going to be a violation. 33 seconds left. We could take the 2-for-1 maybe. So I'm going to jack up a quick 3. Do I have any? They subbed everybody out. Bones Highland, you're the man I'm going to for this 3-pointer. Give me a step back 3. I didn't even step back, but we're going to miss that. And boys, that is going to be all she wrote. We are going to fall to the Luka Doncic Golden State Warriors. That is unfortunate. So that sucks, but Santi Aldama, if you want to go ahead and take a shot, we can do just that. DeLon Wright is going to shoot it up, and he's going to make it. I left him wide open because I want to hit another 3 maybe. So 12 seconds left. I'm going to go jack up a 3. See if I can hit one. I'm going to go... Give me Brandon Boston for a 3, and that's not going to go in. So that's off. But we're going to lose, unfortunately, to the Golden State Warriors. If I re-ran it back and we got Detroit in the finals, this obviously doesn't count. But I kind of wanted to see, because... The reason why I also wanted to get there, I want to see if Jaden Ivey could beat his former team where Sar Thompson is going to start. And Jaden Ivey gets hurt. Of course he does. So we're down 2-0. We still lose. Okay. No big deal. We obviously didn't get to the finals anyway. Lost to the Warriors. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video regardless. It was still a fun one. I recorded this video for a very long time. I didn't realize I was recording that long. But obviously, maybe not the most realistic video in the world, but... It was really, really hard to figure out. It's really hard to figure out what the Clippers are going to do, man. I don't know. Their future is about to be so... It's bleak. I don't know, man. It's tough. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.